Hi, I'm Joanne Kampopo, and I am Malaysia's Queen of Comedy. Now, I'm sure all of you know that I love to dress in very, very sexy clothes, right? Well, let me tell you a story, and this is a true story even. Now, 15 years ago, when I started stand-up comedy, actually a bit longer, but we'll just say 15 years ago. At that time, I was much bigger, actually double. I actually looked like Zack, but in a female form. So if you can imagine, okay? So there weren't many places that I could buy clothes from, okay? I remembered one time I went shopping, okay? I went into the shopping center, and the first thing I encountered was this sales girl who rushed up to me and she was like, Miss, do you want to try our new product for diet? And I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to look like this because I'm a stand-up comedian, Never mind. So I went to the second floor where they had clothes. So I was looking at a few clothes and then rushed in another sales girl and she's like, Miss, sorry, maternity department over the other side. I was really, really upset, So never mind. I went to the sports section. Okay, so I thought, okay, let's get something stretchable and all that. So as I was about to take this tracksuit and I was looking to try and see if I could put it on, all of a sudden, very rudely, this sales girl came and she's like, Miss, you cannot try because after it's overstretched. So you know what I did? I took her head, I put it in between my mountains, like that. I gave her immediate suffocation. Then I told her, excuse me, miss, this is not fat. This is what we call excess beauty.
Hi, I'm Puppy Zach.
And I'm Joanne Kampopo.
And we're here to tell you about Supercom 3.
It gets better, And it will be on the 27th to 31st of May at PJLA. Now, Zach, why don't you tell everybody why they should come and watch Supercom 3, It Gets Better?
Reason number 1. The pomelos get bigger. 3 times bigger.
And we're not talking about only the girls,
Reason number 2. New outfits.
Including Zach. I know it was very difficult, but we managed to pull a couple of camping tents together. So we're going to be seeing some new outfits. And besides that, also, the most important one, 98.9% new jokes.
Huh?
Including yours. Yeah lah.
That wasn't in the contract.
Hello, you MC what?
Yeah,
you got
what?
your joke what?
It's the same lah.
It's
Introduce
98.
inside.
No, 98.9. That means your introduction joke.
I'm the point one.
No, cannot.
My math is not so good right now.
New jokes.
And some old jokes. The favorites. The best-selling ones.
You're not getting out of this. If we're writing, you're writing.
Supercom 3.
Anything can happen Friday. The art and cultural side of Southeast Asia.
Hello and welcome back to DurianASEAN. You're with Gowri
and Grace.
And of course, this is Anything Can Happen Friday. And it's a Friday morning. Excited as always because it's close to the weekends. And today we are discussing a very, very interesting issue regarding women. Which is, I think, rarely talked about in Malaysia, especially.
And I'm sure this topic will wake everyone
and,
Friday morning right now.
People in the studio as well
exactly.
to discuss it. So let's introduce our guest. First of all, we have, of course, Shamaine. Hello, Shamaine.
Hi, Gowri. How Grace?
Hello. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
And
yes.
Of course, we have the queen of stand-up comedy, who is Joanne Kam.
Hey, good morning,
Hello.
girls.
Thank you, ladies, for joining this other two ladies.
Four ladies.
The G&G
It's a girls' day out.
Yes.
Or girls' day in
Girls'
the
day in,
studio.
yeah.
So let's start by talking about your upcoming show.
Yep,
Which is
Supercom 3, It Gets Redder.
It Gets Wetter.
Literally, it does. Considering the fact that we conceived the title, it was last year and there was a lot of flooding going on.
Right.
Yeah, so we decided, it gets redder. And then this year, this month, it's been so dry.
So
and I'm not talking about the weather.
So you want to put an end to the dry spell.
Well, I'm hoping
Yes,
to.
yes, we hope so. Yeah.
Yes. We've got contenders.
Okay.
We need to figure which one it is.
All right.
So Super Come 3 is happening pretty soon. I want to also talk about Come in Your Face. How did you develop that to a Super Come 3, or are they two separate
They're two
shows?
separate shows. Supercom
Okay.
3 was developed about 3 years ago. I wanted to get a band of ladies together because there weren't many female open micers. Shamaine was one of the few. There was one more, but then later on she went out. So I decided for Supercom 1 to get a group of actresses that were my friends to try comedy like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Shamaine was one of them that I've already had on from the very beginning.
Okay.
Then we had Daphne I. King, Maya Tan, Joanne and Bessie tried a little bit.
Okay.
And we managed to get Joe Kukatas on board as her character.
Curry Spice.
Curry Spice, you know.
Okay.
So we're like, whoa, Joe Kukatas said yes. We have to do the show, man. Then after that, and I think the main aim of Supercom is always to promote female in comedy.
Yeah.
Supercom 2 was very interesting because I met Sharu Chana in an open mic session.
Okay.
Immediately after she finished her set, I didn't
Right.
care who the organizer was. Actually, he was standing right there. And I just saw you're going to be doing Supercom 2 with us.
Okay.
And that's how this sisterhood of stand-up comedy exists, I guess.
So I guess the response was really good for the Super
Yeah.
Come 1. And then how did you, all those actresses, did they feel comfortable talking about all their topics on the stage?
With the first one, because they weren't like, they didn't come from like the comedy circuit, like they didn't do the open mic night, so they were a bit nervous. I mean, we're all always very nervous before we do our stand-up sets, but they didn't come from the background of, I want to do stand-up comedy. So there were some challenges, but with the third one, the Supercom 3, we did a stand-up female comedian search where 14 girls actually entered this
forward.
competition, and Joanne picked 2 winners. So these winners these winners will then be opening Supercam 3. So so
With
Joanne's
us,
trying to
with us.
Right.
Joanne's like working very hard to just bring out new
Talent.
female comics. Yeah.
And even yesterday we had a workshop, not only with the 2 winners, but also with 3 others that we handpicked that we felt
Had
each
potential,
of them had a certain potential
Right.
to develop. And I'm even thinking like perhaps after Supercam, after Raya and Puasa, we could do a small showcase with them in an open mic session and call it Girls' Night Out or something like that. But this is what I want to do. I think for female especially, some of the girls have wonderful material that they've written. And it's only just tweaking like how you're going to say it, how you're going to set it up, what you need to do to emphasize your story, your punchline, and that's about it. And I think with continual support, I mean, we can see a whole lot more female in comedy.
I think it's all about support. I mean, I guess I would say I was lucky because when I started doing open mic, and then because I knew Joanne previously, we did a play together. So I was like, Joanne, can you come watch my show? So I was very lucky because I made that move of asking Joanne
she
to come watch
monitored.
my show. Yeah.
No, but you kind of need to.
You have to,
because we're all so busy. There's
course.
not a point like I'm going to see an open mic show and say, yeah, I'm going to be there for all open mics.
Yeah.
Like right now, even going home to my daughter is like so difficult. But. I remembered when she said, and I really want to catch her. So me and BB Capo, who's also in Supercam 3 at the moment, we went. All I remember was lots of lychee martini. She went on her set, and then after she went on, some white guy went on, which irritated me even more.
Okay.
And then I just went up to her and said, okay, we just need to play. So come and see me, talk to me. Okay, bye, I'm drunk. And that's how it all began. And sometimes it is as easy as that.
Sometimes also because the comedy scene is very male dominated. So
yeah.
sometimes it takes a woman to actually say, you're good, come. I'm going to, show you to the comedy audience, like the circuit. Yeah.
So as much as it's very challenging, I'm very curious at the same time. when it comes to stage presentations
Yeah.
for female comedians, how do they portray themselves? Do they just be themselves on the stage, or is there certain elements that we have to bring it on the
No, you have
stage?
to be yourself. I think with comedy, you're selling yourself.
Well, there's two parts. Like, for example, like if you look at Nisha is naturally just like that. But if you
Right.
look at Kim, like last night, she's the second winner.
Okay.
When you talk to her, even when you interview her, she's very like, she's an accountant.
She does have
Yeah.
like a
So
different
she-
persona
when
on
she's-
stage.
When she's telling her jokes and all
Yeah.
that, she brings on this
Okay.
ghetto girl, beatboxer.
But not like you don't feel like it's so
Fake.
detached from her. You feel that it's just another side of her which only comes up when she's
Different
on stage.
persona.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome.
So I was wondering, when you pick out these winners, what were the criteria that you're
Well,
looking out
this
for?
is the thing. We just wanted one winner.
Okay.
Initially, when we put the call out, we didn't expect 14
Yeah.
girls wanting to
Oh,
try.
okay.
Wow.
We thought if I get 6, wow, I'm happy. We were going to put Prakash in the dress. I was telling her I was telling her friend, wear a wig. You can come in as, that Eurostar winner with the beard.
Conchita
verse,
Yeah, we really thought we were going to get
so
6
imagine
people.
him in
Prakash in a dress.
Oh, don't worry,
Too
we'll
bad.
get him.
Yeah, one day, yeah.
Yeah, but this is the thing. And that night at Crack House, even not only that we had 14 girls that came. In fact, I think we had more. We had 16, but
Okay.
one couldn't find babysitter, another one couldn't make it. But the fact that we have 14 women who are ready to go up there and tell 3 minutes of stand up, that is wow.
It's
It
something
was
already.
quite overwhelming for me as well because when I started I was like this one
Only
girl, with the
Right.
boys doing all these open mics, and then like you see like 14 girls, like
You feel like you have
wow,
competition now.
Yeah.
Like,
not competition, but it's
No,
like,
it's not even competition. The
Like,
whole
yes,
the whole
yes.
energy. There's this
Finally.
sisterhood energy
Yeah.
that was going on.
Okay.
The energy was so good, and not only that, I think for the first time, Crack House has never seen so many people. Like we were about to start at 9, people were still lining up from the staircase
Wow.
to the German bar. And we had to turn away a few people because there was no more standing room.
it was too hot.
It was too hot. It was so hot. I was sweating in places I didn't know.
Yeah.
Is this the first time though that something
For
like
all
this has
female,
been
yes.
Yes.
So I think we're going to do another one towards like November. Another
yeah,
search.
yeah.
Just to how would I say, ensure that it doesn't stop
Okay.
here.
Right.
There's
And
continuity,
Momentum
yeah,
going.
there's momentum,
the
yeah, yeah.
continuity, the momentum. You may never know. I the smaller shows, I may pass the mantle over to Shamaine, and she'll organize
Okay.
them, and just come with dark sunglasses.
Ooh.
Where do I sit?
Yeah, you should definitely let us know when is the search happening.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe you guys want to come out and do training.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you can even do it as a team, like how Tina Fey and Amy Poland did. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no. This is the thing. I don't believe that comedy should be boxed up.
Right. Okay.
Stand-
You know.
Yeah.
So if you come and you do comedy with a song, or you come and you do comedy while dancing, or rap, or hip hop, as long as the audience like you and you're entertaining and
Right.
you have performance level and and able to make people laugh. For me, that's comedy. So I'm not gonna like box everyone like, oh, you only have to do
Okay.
this.
I guess it's looking for comedians and not just stand up.
Yeah,
comics.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So Gowri, 2 Gs.
Gowri and Grace.
Gowri and Grace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Grace, yeah, exactly.
That
What
sounds like a sitcom.
yeah, Gowri and Grace.
Gracie.
Yeah.
Do you guys? I mean, you're trying to form a sisterhood of female comedians. Are any guys allowed to join in?
Or
Do you
are they
have
even jealous?
collaborations?
I say that. Okay. Ever since Super Country came up, what do you call it? We picked Zach for a certain reason. Like you kind of need to balance up. If not, it becomes a little bit too feminist. Not even feminist. It's like
Too much estrogen.
too much estrogen.
Right,
so you
right.
kind of
Need
need
to balance.
a guy to
Yeah,
balance. But it has to be the right guy. It cannot be a guy that's too aggro or
Macho?
Not macho. It's like the male energy need to be
Right.
an energy that is not too aggressive.
Right.
Those
You know,
alpha
for a show
male-
like
Yeah,
this,
for he cannot go out and like, oh, I'm the alpha. I cannot.
yeah.
You know, so Zach's energy
Right.
is very, very how would I say?
Complimentary.
Malleable.
Yeah, very complimentary to the whole group.
Right.
And even when Zach couldn't MC, all right, there was a period I think in
There's like a
yeah,
time
that's like
clash,
that,
yeah.
time clash. It was very difficult to find another male MC, and everyone wanted. Trust me, everyone
Okay.
was like, "Oh, I'm here," you know,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
case
yeah.
you know,
Of
I'm
course.
here. Yeah, I'm
just,
here.
just putting it out
Yeah,
there.
just putting it out there. No, they didn't put it out there. They put it out there. Not to say they any of them cute or I could do anything with them, right? So, yeah. So we ran a whole list of who could, you know,
Okay.
perhaps, MC the show without showing too much, you know, aggressiveness, and it needs to suit the girl's energy. And Prakash came,
Yeah.
and even though he was new, he stepped up. And you know, honestly,
good
right
friend,
now,
yeah.
these two guys are like, if we ever have a female show that's all female, these are the only two that I would say that I
Okay.
want them to MC and hold court with us.
Okay.
It's such a like they must feel that I'm so privileged in all those female scenes.
Tell me the
Yeah,
plan
there's a
and
lot
the
of bras
roses.
going on.
Yeah. They see
I
a
think they've
lot.
all learned.
They
Prakash
see.
will just come with his camera. He'll be like, yeah, take a picture right there.
Yeah, because he does takes photos as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, while you're getting ready, Shamaine.
Especially the area.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you need to put your cassette. Wait, let me take my later.
My neck.
So I want to ask you about the female comedians in Malaysia as well. I think, of course, there aren't many around. But what sort of motivated you or encouraged you to say like, okay, this seems like a male-dominated scene, and I want to step up and bring a different flavor to it.
At
and
the
show
same
that
time,
women,
at the same time in Malaysia,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
Malaysia is a
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
conservative country.
For me, well, I don't just do stand-up comedy. So I also do improv comedy and sketch comedy. So improv is with Aya Improv and sketch comedy is with Project Disco Baldi.
Okay.
So I've been doing that for a couple of years, and then some of my friends said, why don't you try stand-up comedy? And I never ever saw it like as something like, oh, because there's no female stand-up comedian, I want to try it. So I just wanted to try it because I wanted to do
Okay.
stand-up comedy. It just so happens at that time there weren't many female comedians, so there weren't any except Joanne.
So you
Yeah.
accepted the challenge.
Yeah, so I just did it, and then because I started with Time Out Comedy Thursdays, so you do 3 minutes, and then if they like you, they ask you to do 5 minutes, then
Okay.
7 minutes. So it was I just did it because I wanted to try stand-up comedy, not so much because I want to prove like I'm a woman, I can do comedy too. But now that that I've done it for a few years with Joanne, I think now I really want to like just spread the joy of comedy to more female comics, like just really get them to do to give it a go. Yeah,
I think also they had to be hardworking on their part as well. Just because you won or just because you've been handpicked, you need to do more open mics, and perhaps get involved in bigger shows. I think that's really important for them as well. But it is a very male-dominated scene. It still is. And I think with female comics, you need to work twice as hard, unfortunately.
Harder,
So it's not actually an advantage in this case.
I wouldn't say it's not an advantage. If you're
Okay.
good, you will stand out,
Right.
but
Yeah.
you still need to
To
fight.
work
But then
hard.
that's women in every workforce,
industry,
every
yeah.
industry. It's nothing new.
and it's also one thing you're dealing with like the other comedians in the scene who are mostly male, and then it's also telling your jokes. The audiences, they're not used to hearing jokes from women. There have been some shows where I come on, I do certain joke, it gets like a so-so laughter, and then like a male comedian comes on after, does almost like the exact same joke and gets a bigger laughter. Some of them are still uncomfortable
Okay.
hearing women tell, I would say, very adult jokes.
Okay.
Yeah, very sexy jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably like you're not supposed to be saying
Yeah,
these
you know,
things. woman.
yeah. Like yesterday, I was at a cafe and then the barista was like, "Hey, you the stand-up comedian, right?"
Oh wow!
And I was like, yeah. And then he's like, hey, you tell the teen joke. I'm like, okay.
stand-up comedian, tell the teacher.
you tell the teacher. It's like, yeah, I
Yeah,
do.
do you have a problem with that?
No, it's fine.
No.
I'd say it's only dirty if your mind is. So yeah.
So,
Yeah.
when it comes to topics, right? Do you ever get run out of the topics, or do you have wide range
Yeah,
of
how do you
elements
guys
of topic to
get
select what to talk about?
There's like a wide range of topics to talk about, and then but it all boils down for me, which topic can I make a joke about? Can I construct a joke about? Yeah, sometimes it's a story, because sometimes you want to talk about something, then when you're trying to write a joke about it, it's quite hard. So at the end of the day, it's which topic can help you create a joke. Yeah, for me. Yeah.
For me, because I have a certain style, I think a lot of my audience expect that,
Yes,
the
I
raunchiness, the sex. I'm trying to take that away and try to do something new this time. The last time when I did something that's not very sexual, it got the laughs, but people were a little bit like,
Upset.
Oh, God, where is
what
that?
is this? I want the car. So it has to be a balance of both, I guess, for me. But when I do corporate, it's only certain genre that they like, either that or they tell me to just read from the cue cards. Yeah.
So, maybe you can tell us a bit more about Supercom 3. What can the audience expect from...
Well, besides the two winners that we picked,
Yeah.
Nisha and Kim, everything is new. Even Zach's emceeing jokes will be new. There's a new video that was directed by Gavin Yap. It's very similar to 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, la la.
Yeah. and you get to see it when you come.
Yeah.
And all of us are doing new jokes. We have no choice because
Because someone decided to put it on the poster.
I could have put new jokes.
No, you had to put percentage 99.
Okay, don't worry. I told her this. I said, don't worry. I'll get Zach to distract them. We'll go out and say we're like everybody else. We lie. So now let's distract you.
No, but we're all writing new material. So yeah.
And do you usually do most of the writing? Or
Yeah,
it's,
we all write our
Yeah,
own
we all
stuff.
write our own
Yeah,
stuff.
but
And-
we write our own stuff, and then when we have our material, we kind of like sit together and just like work it through.
Yeah, we workshop it, and then sometimes she'll have a better punchline, or we'll
Yeah.
set it up in a different way when the others are around. It's always better when the others are around as well. And then they say, oh, maybe you can try it this way, maybe you can try it that way, and it's honestly all about trying.
Yeah.
What are your references when it comes to material writing, having punchline or jokes? Do you have any favorite comedians that you follow, or to have your, to distinguish your colors from other comedians? What do you do?
I do have my favorite comedians, but most of them like very different from my style. But there's one of my favorite comedians, which a few people have told me I'm quite like similar to her, and it's Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer.
Amy
right.
Schumer. In terms of writing my jokes, because I'm Malay, so I have to be very careful in like the choices,
topics,
the
yeah.
words
Yeah.
that I use. The topic's not so much; it's just the words that I choose. So I have to be
Right.
very careful in that. So that's what I always keep in mind whenever I'm writing my stuff. Yeah, in terms of like writing jokes, I think everyone just has the same structure. Your setup and then the punchline. So
when you write all the scripts, right? Do you target the Malaysian audience or in general?
I just write the set, and if let's just say I'm asked to do like a show where I don't think there'll be many Malaysians, then I just take out all the Malaysian jokes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah.
Joanne, do you have a favorite comedian?
I love Wanda Sykes because I think she's so in your face. I'm old school. I like people like
Right.
Bette Midler, Joan Rivers.
okay.
Yeah.
Recently I've been watching Whitney Cummings.
Okay.
She's really good, and I'm hoping like one day I'll be able to get her down, so it'll be the
Wow.
Come and Coming show.
Yeah, exactly.
We should find her agent,
And then
yo.
we do Schumer and Shamaine.
Yeah, Shamaine, Come and Coming. I think we should what do you call this? Record ourselves
Yeah.
and then send it to them.
Yeah.
And then say why we should do Shamaine Schumer and Cummings come.
Yeah.
Another project here.
Yeah, bring them down. They can bring down Russell Peters.
Yeah, they need already.
So we are going to take a short break. When we come back, we will talk more to Shamaine and Joanne about Supercom 3.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Joanne Campopo. I am a stand-up comedian, a show producer, a single mother, and my personal message is always be like a durian. You know why? Because when they crack you up, baby, ooh, that smoothness and that taste, extraordinaire. You are now listening to DurianASEAN, the voice of discovery.
Anything can happen Friday. The art and cultural side of Southeast Asia.
Hello, welcome back to DurianASEAN. You're with Gowri
And Grace.
and Joanne and Shamaine as well, who are here with us in the studio today.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, girls.
Hello.
So, for the second part of the segment, I actually want to move on to, like what Joanne was saying earlier. When people watch your show, they tend to expect this certain elements, and of course, one of it is sex, which seems to be such a taboo topic, whether in Malaysia
Well,
or
I've been
Asia.
talking about it for 20 over years.
So maybe we can start with why is it so but people roll their eyes at you when you mention about these things, or like I'm sure you probably get mixed reactions as well, like, hey, you're a woman, how can you be saying all these things on
True,
stage?
but you must understand, I've been doing this for like 20 years, so it's become expected
Right.
that I talk about sex, you know. I'm not saying that people request, but it's an expectation from my audience.
Right.
And I guess because I started quite far back, and somehow those times, even though people roll their eyes or whatever, they still give you that respect, like, okay. I think with Shamaine, perhaps she have a harder time because,
Her background.
yes.
Yeah, I think with me it's hard because of my background, like my upbringing, my childhood. But I think so your question was why isn't it being discussed a lot? I think
like openly.
because I think it's a cultural thing most of all.
Of course.
You know, Asian culture, we're
Yep.
not allowed to be sexual. Also
Sexually open.
Also religion. Also there isn't much discussion about it. There isn't much sex education in schools. You know, people think sex education is about, you know, teaching you, you know, how to have sex, but it isn't. It's more than that, you know. So I think that's where the problem is.
Yeah, because I think even parents are a little bit, how would I say, even when they want to approach the topic, some of them may not know how. But if you're looking at situation now, this generation knows more about sex at the age of 10 and
That is
11 than when we ever did. So if you're looking at the new generation, they already know what's out there. They can Google it. You know, they most probably have been Googling it. Okay, but still, that's not enough communication, discussion about sex openly, in a sense where we there are forums that you can go and ask questions.
Right.
Like, let's say for a teenager that's 16, you know, where is she going to go if, let's say, her mom doesn't, or someone older doesn't, like, she doesn't feel that she has that comfort zone to go and discuss, okay, you know, what is it all about? What is all this? Can I do this? Can I not do this? You know, it's a lot, you know. And the thing is that we live in such a sheltered society. There's some, I mean, and we keep forgetting KL it's not just KL. I think KL has a culture and a society that is ever embracing to different things. But what about the outskirts? It's still very, very taboo.
Smaller cities, smaller towns. I think you're not encouraged to talk about it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, you need to educate the girls from a very boys and girls, because it's both parties. Yeah.
So, and also at the same time, when you talk about sex, a lot of people think that it's very private. So why do you need to talk about it to public and stuff? So they still have this stereotyping thoughts, in their minds that when it comes to sex, like, oh, shh, we're not supposed to talk about it in public. Yeah. So perhaps when it comes to this particular show, people get really attracted to it.
Probably
It's something that,
people.
I think we are pawn for those married people. And senior citizens, we do get a lot of senior citizens.
But ever since I started doing stand-up, I get approached more by women than men who say like, hey, I've watched your show, and it's like, thank you so much for talking about sex from a women's point of view. So they do enjoy, I guess we do create discussion. Platforms. Jokes, with jokes. Yeah, with our stories,
even like when I was in Hong Kong after performance, we went to a place for drinks, and it was the ladies who were buying me drinks. The expat girls and all that. So there is that bond of sisterhood. There is that need for more female topics out there. It's just, I guess, you need to push your envelopes. You need to push your barrier. You can talk about sex, just don't be vulgar about it.
Yeah.
There is a way. There's always a way.
I want to ask, when it comes to relationships, like what Grace said, that it can be a private thing, or some people can just be really, really shy. But I think it's important that couples should be comfortable enough to discuss about their sex life with each other.
They should be comfortable, but there are some cases where I've heard where even the wife doesn't want to discuss about it, because from a very young age she's been told you can't be sexual, so they don't understand that sex is part of marriage. They don't want to discuss about it. So Joanne, anything to add?
Well, I've not been married, so I don't know.
I mean, I've heard stories.
But since you mentioned that, I think women generally also have, of course not all, but there's this perception that, okay, my job is to please my husband, and they don't sort of make any demands.
Well, depends though. I mean, if you're talking about Malaysian society, there's so many. There's the Chinese, the Malay, the Indians, and I'm sure each deal with relationship and sex very differently. There are some that are very highly active and adventurous, and there are some that gets together for a certain need, and after that need is met, then they either steer away or they don't even focus on that area of their life, and it can create other problems. That is why people cheat, and that's why, marriages break down, because after certain, and I'm not saying it's anyone's fault. I think what happens even for women, after a certain period when the kids come to play, you're just exhausted. You're just exhausted. I don't even have a husband, and I'm exhausted. I don't even have anyone, and I'm the only thing that I'm looking at that's phallic is my astral control.
So are you like really, really, really single now?
Yes, I'm Shamaine 2 years ago. I'm really, really single.
But I want to bring this up, and I might get in trouble for saying this. But remember the Obedient Wives Club?
Yes.
Yeah.
They got a lot of flack because of what they were kind of spreading. You have to be a whore in the bedroom for your husband. For me, I'm you do whatever it takes. And they say you're not there to serve your man or whatever. But I feel if the wife has made the decision to want to, learn some sexy moves to keep her marriage happy, then so be it. As long as she's doing it because she wants to.
Not because she's forced into it.
As long as she wants to.
Yeah, that's the difference. If you're forced into it, and you don't exactly enjoy doing it, then perhaps it's something that you should be discussing with your husband. Maybe you just don't like to do it, or maybe something's not. If you're uncomfortable, something's not right. Because if you keep saying no, even, and it works both ways. I could
Yeah,
be the guy
yeah.
saying it. Okay, for me, it's like I have a lot of friends who are married, and unfortunately, a lot of them are guys, and unfortunately, after marriage, it boils down to a point where their sex life is like, honestly, there's nothing left, and like,
Okay.
why should that be?
Right.
And these are people who are in their peaks, who are still very, very good looking, who are still very, and I'm like, if I have a husband, anytime I'm stressed, you're my stress relief.
Okay.
You know,
If you know
Yeah.
what I mean.
it's your duty.
Yeah, exactly. Why can't it be the other way around at the same? As much as we are living in this male-dominated society,
Yeah.
and then that comes with a thought that females, women especially, need to please their husbands.
Yeah.
But why can't it be the other way around?
It has to be
Because-
the other way
It
around
has
too.
been
It's
the
a
other way
two-way
around.
thing.
There
Yeah.
is a two-way thing going on, but it depends on how the woman want to approach it as well. You need to demand your rights.
Right.
True.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, male can perform like all the sexy moves in front of their wives, and then all this
Yes.
story, blah blah blah. After
Yes.
that, happy
So
ending.
does this mean I'll get that 6-pack and a lap dance?
Hopefully, yes.
You will need to show him Magic Mike 2
Magic
first.
Mike 2,
Learn
yeah.
from me. Surprise me on my birthday.
Yeah.
So when's your birthday?
December. He's got 6 months to learn.
Plenty of time to go to
Plenty
the
of
gym.
time. It's like exactly the same, dude.
Pick up
Exactly
some
the
dance
same.
moves.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit curious. Do people, because you say a lot of ladies approach you after the show,
Yeah.
do they ask you for advice on when it comes to the bedroom or how to spice up their sex
I've
life?
never gotten any questions.
Okay.
It's all just about thank you for
Oh, right.
telling it from a women's perspective. Yeah, I've never gotten any questions. I don't know about Joanne.
Mine, it's
I'm
funny.
sure
I
you
told you I
have.
got a big pool of senior citizens because I'm
Yeah.
their pawn, right?
Right.
No, it's true. I have, like, even in Penang and all, I remember one show, this 89-year-old
Wow.
grandmother,
Wow.
okay, and Malay, even she's in Tudong and all, she came out and she grabbed my hands. She said, "You're so funny. See, I bring my granddaughter. You teach her about sex. Teach
Wow,
her."
she's something.
Okay.
Wow.
So it does happen.
It does happen. For me, I think it happens a little bit more, So, and I guess because a lot of females see me as this
Sex
figure.
expert.
Not sex expert. It's more like I'm telling the truth. I'm telling of
Okay,
what it
okay.
is, and
Right.
yes, sex is part of it, and yes, I'm dirty and all that. What do you call this? A lot of my jokes are about sex, but the fact that I stand my ground, I talk
Yep.
about it openly, and it's also, I guess, the kind of confidence that I portray. And let's put it this way: there's a lot going on, against me.
Yeah.
Number one, I mean, I've been fat all my life. I have to deal with the fat issue. I have to deal with the fact that I'm in entertainment where everybody is skinny bitch, I have to deal with lots of things. And yes, I am vain, but who's to say that just because I have all this thing going against me, that I cannot be a sex symbol, And I think for
Right.
women, it's like, oh my God, it's like, she's big. She's not your conventional model, but yet she's so
Yeah.
sexy. I know, because every time after they come out and congratulate me, their husbands will be like, "Yeah, hello. Yeah, hi. I enjoy your show
Yeah.
very much. My
I-
wife too." Wink, wink.
Yeah, and then like the
probably
husbands
wanna
will
be
always
like
like, take
you.
photo.
Yeah, the husbands will always they'll be like so fun. They'll be like, the girls will be like, then I'll be, yeah.
You take photo of me
take
and the
photo of me.
comedians. But I think when we did the first Supercam, I think there was like a review in the newspapers which said what Supercam managed to do was just create like this discussion. Yeah, about our sexuality, about our bodies, because I think Joanne Bessie in the first year she did something about childbirth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The set was about childbirth.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it's nice that women can come watch us and like share our personal experiences and have a laugh about it. Yeah.
The whole performance and show initiated, to talk about all these things that we thought that it is sort of controversial, also
Yeah.
could be sensitive. So it is good platform, I will say. And then
And this
I'm
interview
hoping to
as
see
well.
more.
Yeah, of course.
Hope to see more. But when it comes to jokes, right, there's always stereotyping jokes like Indians, Chinese, Malay, and white when it comes to sex. And then this is something that people can relate to. It's like that's when the laughter comes.
And you know
Yeah.
what? What's fun is that we can do it here in Malaysia, and I think in Singapore. What do you call it? It's not stereotyping. We can talk about the
Race.
different race
Right.
and not have it being like
Racist.
racist. And I think that's people tend to forget. This is a very Malaysian thing.
Yes.
Even when you're at the mama, we're not being racist, but we talk about it, and we can talk about it to like, the Indian guys are always horny, the Malay guys always manja, and the Chinese guy can only last 3 minutes. But don't worry, at least his wallet is very thick.
I think we're very lucky, like in the Malaysian, culture. We can talk about it, we can laugh about it. Yeah, because it's true, right?
Yeah, Zach has one joke where he says, "Oh, you know what is something to do with opening a bank account?"
remember this
Never mind. We'll have to ask.
You reminded me of this joke that you made at Come in Your Face too, when you were saying something about Penang girls, and I remember that clearly because I'm from Penang too. And I think you said, "Don't trust Penang girls because they always look so innocent, but they're really, really not." So, I guess that's a stereotype.
I wouldn't know because I'm not from Penang.
The last time we did a show, and I do this joke where I talk about dating Malay, Chinese, Indian, Bat Saleh, and then after the show, this one guy who was Sarawak kid, he was like, "How come you never talk about East Malaysia?" Okay, next show. Next show.
So let's also talk about say sex out of wedlock, because that has a very negative connotation to it, and
Shamaine, can you really talk about that?
and I think in most cultures it's also perceived as a sin. But what do you think? Shouldn't people be allowed to engage in it whenever they feel comfortable, when it's up to their preference?
Okay, here's the thing. I think you shouldn't advocate it. I think if a person want to embark on this, they need to be very clear why. And that's why a discussion about sex and a forum about, wanting to have sex is very important, because I think young couples right now want to explore, and some of them may want to explore a little bit earlier than before.
Right.
And you need to be well equipped, not only about sex, but also about why you're actually doing it. Sex and feelings are two very, very separate entities. Unfortunately, for the younger generation, they mix it up. And if they go, it's almost like going into battle. If they are equipped with the right information and they know how to handle adult situation, because anything can happen.
Right.
True.
So I'm not saying that you should go out there and have sex, freely and all that. It's everyone's right.
Yep.
And plus, this is after all an Asian country. But all I'm saying is that if you want to take that step towards your own sexual freedom, then you need to be equipped with the right information and be prepared to deal with adult situations when it happens.
Agree. It all boils down to sex education. You need to be educated. I know it's probably not going to happen within the next 10 years, but also parents need to sort of create an environment for their children where they can ask questions, they can talk about it.
And where it's safe.
Very safe. Yeah, it's create a safe environment. So you would want your child to come to you to talk about this rather than your child going to someone else. Yeah.
I agree with you. And a lot of times when it comes to sex education, I think there's this perception that if you actually teach people about it, more people would go out and do it, which is why they try to instill fear, about pregnancy, that it being a sin. But it's actually important for them to know what they're getting into.
I
and then
don't know
they can
if
make
this
the
is
decision.
Going to end up on air. Or you cut this out. But I abstained from sex the longest time because of sex education.
Okay.
And I did not get it from my parents, but I was lucky enough because when I was growing up, I used to buy a lot of teen magazines from
right.
America, like 17, and these magazines discuss like what is rape, what is consensual sex, and protection and all that. So I was informed, and that is why like I stayed away from it. Yeah.
I think the information is out there, and I think for those who want to embark on it, need to get the right information, or find somebody they can really talk to, or you can get a lot of material online and even in books. Never force yourself to a situation where I need to do it because if I don't do it, he will leave me, he won't love me.
Yeah.
And that is a very, very, how would I say, because I know sometimes they're forced into it when they're not ready, and trust me, the person who's forcing it may not even be ready, and it doesn't mean that you're going to lose him or her if this don't happen. I think what's good for a young couple is to have it happen organically and be grown up about it. And it's always nice if they could go to someone, even if it's a teacher or an older sibling, because it needs to be discussed more. I think with more information, then you can embark on it knowing what the outcome is going to do, because in the end it's your decision.
You need to be mature about it. Yeah.
That too.
Yeah, it's a mature decision that you have to make. Yeah.
Right. So, we're almost at the end of our segment. Actually, I just want to ask you guys about your sexual fantasies. If you care to
Shamaine,
share.
why don't you start first?
I think I saw that in one of your shows
Which
as
one?
well.
My
the
sexual
one-
fantasies?
Yeah, something about
I
Adam
don't think
Levine.
I ever. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I will give the PG version.
Right. Write it on.
It's a boring one, but I guess a lot of people I know have this fantasy. I don't know why though.
Okay.
But it's
Which
to like do it on your parents' bed.
Oh, your parents are not listening.
Hi,
Well,
mommy.
mine would be this fantasy always play out in my mind that
Yeah.
my so-called boyfriend, maybe somewhere out there is a high level what do you call this
Investment banker?
yes, something like that,
Okay.
investment banker, and he'll have the best view in the city, and I would surprise him at lunchtime with nothing but a trench coat, and we
Okay.
would just do it on the table,
It's like, ta-da. Take me with you.
but not in Bangsa South.
Yeah.
They did it outside. Like, against the window. I think it's fine.
To be adventurous.
I've got lots of fantasy. That's
I have
only
to keep coming up with new fantasies because they just keep getting realized.
That's good news.
Yeah, so this year there'll be a sweet. Shamaine will talk about her actual sex life, about her not being single, and Joanne will come out and say, "Yes, I'm single.
Really,
I'm
really,
really single."
single.
I think that's how I'll start. I'm like,
You should make a song out of that.
I'm like,
really single.
I'm so single. I need to create Supercom 3 for you all so that you can be my pawn.
So do you guys have any comedian crushes on our local comedians?
Wow.
No,
Like
not
the
local.
same-
Not
Not
Yeah.
local, but I have one.
And she's
Wanna
already
share?
fantasizing.
Oh no, I've been fantasizing about this one for quite a while, and it's short even. Oh God, usually I don't like
now
them
I know
short.
who. But not local. It's not
Not
local.
local,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I could just box him up.
Alright, so don't forget, you want to tell us how to get tickets to Super
Yes.
Com 3?
Supercom 3, it's on 27th till the 31st of May. Tickets are
At
58.
5868 at www.tix.my, and you can also go down to Jaya 1 PJLA.
Okay.
Box office should be open till 7 o'clock, but it's easier to book online. www.tix.my.
Tix.my is quite convenient. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And so
And the show is at 9 o'clock.
9
9
o'clock.
o'clock.
So you can go eat
Have
something,
dinner,
eat dinner, And I think we're going to have those crazy puff people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they're there to feed us.
Yeah.
So all the best for your show.
Yes,
Thank
all
you
the
very much.
best.
So thank
Thank
you so
you.
much for joining us in the studio today.
Anytime.
Hi, I'm Shamaine Othman. I'm a writer, comedian, and just want to tell you guys, if you want to do something and you're afraid, just feel the fear and do it anyway. You're now listening to DurianASEAN. DurianASEAN, the voice of discovery.